The Federal Reserve System. Get it? Yeah. Congress can defund Obamacare, but will not have the power over the Protection Bureau. Oh, they're here to protect us. And Elizabeth Warren, seemingly a very nice lady, is going to design the scope, the range, and the emphasis of the new bureau. Now, Obama has gone so far to call her the architect of the bureau. And she has quite the fan club. Oh, yes, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. She has Arianna Huffington calling her a hero. Michael Moore is not only huge, but a huge fan. Socialist Bernie Sanders also urged Obama to hire her. So did Al Franken, Andy Stern from SEIU. Oh, and Trumka from AFL-CIO. They all love Warren. She has spoken at events. She's spoken at events with, where's Van Jones? He's around here someplace. I love Van Jones. Show me Van Jones. There he is, Van Jones. Oh, there she is with Arianna Huffington and Van Jones. Here she is again with George Soros, spooky guy. The Progressive Change Campaign Committee says there will, quote, be hell to pay if her position does not have real power. Why? Why is this position so important? Why is she so loved? What are her beliefs? Well, here's how she feels about credit card companies.
Credit card companies market their products the same way drug dealers do. Just try it out. And then, once you're hooked, credit card companies have a special word for the customers who pay in full every month. They're called deadbeats. The credit card companies are undermining the economic security of middle-class America. And they will hang on to them and bleed them for as long as they possibly can.
Okay, true. Have you cut up your credit cards yet? Please do. I remember my folks did it in the 1960s. I remember, I must have been very young, but I remember them cutting them up. Cut your credit card credit cards up. Now, why did my parents do that? Because it's not the credit card company's fault. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that when you borrow money, you pay it back. Do we really need an entire government bureau for this, or do we need to send everybody a pair of scissors? This isn't the problem, because it's much, much more than what she just said. Watch this.
We made up these rules. And the rules are of men, of people. We pick what the rules are. The rules have not been written for ordinary families, for the people who actually do the work. We have to rewrite those rules.
Okay. What you've missed on this is from Michael Moore's movie, is what he said in the first part, and she didn't disagree. Capitalism doesn't work. So she's saying, yes, but we wrote the rules, so we just have to rewrite them. It's about rewriting the rules of capitalism. Translation, ending capitalism. And if you think that's an outrageous claim, don't. I'm going to do two things for you. I want you to go to theblaze.com. I want you to see the top 20, all these radicals. It runs, I'm going to play some of it for you tonight, but it runs about 4.5 minutes. It's these radicals and then some, and what they say about the free market system. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in capitalism. Now, when we come back, I'm going to show you another outrageous claim from somebody else. The words of another czar. That's next. Show me your friends and I will show you your future, is what my parents used to say to me. Well, John Holdren is another in the Obama administration who holds what most, except those in the White House, would consider a radical worldview. He was asked by CNS News if he still believed in what he wrote about in his book on de-developing the United States. Watch this.
I want to just ask you, you wrote a massive campaign must be launched to restore high-quality environment in North America and to de-develop the United States in your book, Human Ecology. Could you explain what you meant by de-developing the United States?
Have you guys, what we meant by that was stopping the kinds of activities that are destroying the environment and replacing them with activities that would produce both prosperity and environmental quality. Thanks a lot.
And how do you plan on implementing that?
Through the free market economy.
Okay. Sounds harmless, right? Unless you understand what he's talking about. Even Holdren realizes his view is the radical one because he only blurts out through the free market economy in an attempt to get the reporter off his back. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get the average American to de-develop on their own anytime soon. What does that mean? It means that you're going to have less stuff. You're not going to have the TVs that you have. You're not going to be able to have a lot of the modern appliances in your house. And if you think this is crazy, just keep listening. You're not going to have all the things that you already have. You're going to lose some of those things. This is nothing more than another massive attempt at redistribution of wealth. Since people will never magically give up on their modern conveniences that they love, how can de-development be accomplished? Through the free market system, as long as you grab control. First, you put up the economic roadblocks. You put regulations on things like growing food. You think I'm crazy? Here's a story from Georgia. A man was recently cited and fined $5,000 for the oh so horrible crime of growing too many vegetables on his property. He would grow veggies and sell them, but he would also give those vegetables away. Well, the government says you just can't have people giving food away for free. Excuse me? In Florida, a reporter with some shovels, plastic shovels in hand, went to the beach in Florida for a story. When a representative from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service recently put a stop to it, saying it was now illegal to dig in the sand, even to make sand castles on the beach. Did you know that you can't do that on the beach in Florida anymore? This guy was stopped twice. Here is a guy saying, you can't dig. I need to see your papers. Papers? To go to the beach? Last week, U.S. Department of Energy said that they had a mandate to issue regulations to determine what household appliances are available to Americans in the future. Let me say that again. To mandate which household appliances will be available. This is why I've said Cass Sunstein is the most dangerous. I told you these things would start to happen. We're at the beginning, gang. Now, this is what they did with the light bulb and the light bulb industry. Government is now weaning Americans off incandescent bulbs by 2012. So factories here in America are shutting down because we used to make the regular light bulb. It's true that there is a green light bulb job boom coming. Unfortunately, that boom is going to happen in China and elsewhere overseas. We take the jobs, we ship them overseas, which makes us poorer, which is the idea, to de-develop the United States of America. Make us poorer and make the poor countries richer. Why else would we shut down perfectly good light bulbs? Germany says it's more dangerous to have the CFLs sitting in landfills. Why would we do this? Because we need to shut them down. And then virtually all CFLs are made overseas. Now, I'm sure we'll have no trouble competing in the global market with China. And now we have the new credit card czar that we told you a few minutes ago, who's going to watch your every purchase, investigate and punish those companies that are treating its clients unfairly. Gee, I wonder if they'd ever abuse that. You know, take an A+ rated company and do congressional investigations. Gold line. Can't imagine that. If de-development sounds crazy to you, wake up, because it is happening before your very eyes. But there is good news. You are awake, but many more eyes need to be opened on what's going on. This is no longer me saying this is going to happen. Here are 3 stories that have happened in the last week. It is happening, America. So you've been told, or your friends have been told, not to listen to the demagogue who's on Fox at 5 p.m. Why did they need to discredit me? They need to discredit me so nobody would go, wait a minute. He did say that a year and a half ago, and now it's happening. Well, what's the solution? Well, the immediate thing you can do is vote. You are the last line of defense, and our founders knew it. Our founders knew that in the end, our branches of government would fail, and the last line of defense would be you. But here's the problem. Our turnout is pathetic. Now, I don't want to tell you who to vote for. I don't even know the candidates. Sean covers the candidates. I don't. It's up to you to find the one that has anything that you agree with. You're not going to agree with a lot of stuff, and you can't trust these people. But you've got to find somebody that will put their foot in the door. I had this made up by Paul Nunn. He's an artist for my company. Our turnout is absolutely awful. In Baghdad, the voter turnout was 95% when they voted. 95%. These people were threatened with their lives. Our highest turnout ever is in 1960, and it's 67%. Our highest is 1960. If the de-development of the United States of America into a third world country can't get this is the latest, 38%. If we can't get that over at least 40%, if the idea of making the United States into a third world country cannot motivate enough Americans to get into the voting booth when these people will do it at death, you know what? Then we don't stand a chance. But the good news is, it is. Americans know. All you have to do is reach out to the people with facts and reason. Reach out to the people, because I met them over the weekend. I met all these people in Chicago. I met them in Clemson University. I met them up in Indiana. People who said, I voted for Barack Obama. I didn't listen to you. I believed all the crap. But then I watched. I saw what was happening. They're out there. They're out there. I don't care if you vote for a Democrat or an independent or a Republican. You've got to vote, and you've got to get your friends to vote. Back in a second.